Okay, everyone, welcome to the live show. We'll give everybody a chance to sign on here while we do the legalities. Past performance is no indicator of future performance. We are not registered investment advisors. Anything in this show should be taken for entertainment purposes only. Nothing in this show is an offer to buy any security or option. Okay, please read the disclaimer. There's important information in there. And we're starting to show a little early today. It's kind of a sluggish day. Nice green day across the board, but a little bit of sluggish. Not a whole lot to talk about except what we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, except for Omarosa, right? So we'll wait for somebody to sign on here because we're starting a little early. So we'll see how everybody gets on here. Like always, read the disclaimer. And let's put those market numbers up there for right now. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we got a couple of reviewers here, so let's go ahead and get started. So as always, welcome Norris. As always, read the disclaimer. Important information. We are not registered investment advisors. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Just like today, even though we're going to do a pick where we play along and stuff, that is not an offer to buy any security. Always consult a professional. Past performance is no indicator of future performance, all that good stuff. So let's kind of get into the market. Let's talk about the market numbers first here. You know, the Dow ended up nice and red or nice and green, about 0.5%. The S&P 500 made a nice recovery after yesterday's sell down, is almost up 0.75%, and the NASDAQ followed right along at about 0.75% also too. Nice to have the small caps back participating. The Russell 2000 had a nice little day today with some very solid gains. You know, it looks like we absorbed whatever happened yesterday with the market, with the turkey and all that stuff. So it was a nice recovery day today. And it's Tuesday. So for you lotto players, you people that like to play those Friday options on Mondays, which we do every now and then as a group. You know, we like to buy the dip on Monday and sell it on Friday. You know, that's always fun. So for you guys that are playing those Friday lottos, you know, it's still plenty of time in the week. Looks like we got a nice recovery day today. And let's get into it. Let's get into what little news there was. So really the big forefront news right now is still Tesla with Elon Musk. Evidently, he says that he has the private financing ready to go. Whether or not he does, it's not official yet. We need to see an offer. We need to see a sheet on it and stuff like that. How this plays out with that tweet before the halt in the market news is still yet to be seen. But, you know, it was something interesting was said by Jim Cramer today on CNBC. And what he said was, by the time the SEC even gets around to fining or punishing Elon Musk, the company will be private. You know how the government moves. And so that's pretty much where that whole story is right now, right? It's you know, there's a lot of whispers going on about Tesla right now, and you know, one of them is with SpaceX. Are they getting in cahoots with the government and stuff like that? Where's Elon going to progress? You know, one of the big rumors or whispers earlier in the year was everybody was wondering whether he'd take SpaceX public. You know, if he's taking Tesla private, it doesn't make a lot of sense to take SpaceX public. And plus, too, obviously, he's not. He doesn't have the temperament to deal with shareholders. Shareholders are a whole other animal. As a CEO of a publicly traded company, one of your biggest responsibilities is managing your shareholders. These are the people that are invested directly in your company. These are the people that expect results. These are the people that expect you to act like an adult on a conference call, on an analyst call. And so if Elon can take those out of the picture, why would he add some more with SpaceX, right? Of course, the other news is the turkey saga continues. The lira continues to crash. It got a little feel for a bottom overnight, but it doesn't look like it's holding very strong. So we'll see how that plays out with the lira. You know, we're short the dollar right now, and that has put a little bit of a monkey wrench into our trade because the dollar just, you know, it's looking real good. The DXY, the dollar index, we're at about 96.60 right now, and we think that's pretty much the top. So we'll see how this plays out. Like we said, we feel like Trump will have this trade situation under control by Labor Day. That's what we're thinking. We think that he's got something going with Mexico, just hasn't been announced yet. That'll be the leverage to get Canada on board, the whole NAFTA thing and all that. And then he's just got that Chinese situation to deal with President Xi and stuff. And we'll see how that works out. Everything in that right now, we believe, is a smokescreen, whether it comes from the Chinese side or the American side. So. And that Turkey saga continues. Really, the big worry right now is there's a lot of money in loans to Turkey from Europe. As we said yesterday, Italy, Spain, they have big loans with Turkey right now. The United States has an $18 billion loan, but that's really small in comparison to everybody else. So how that's going to unfold on the European economies, right? What if you have a default? What if this really starts to affect Italy and then Spain? I mean, these are much bigger economies, especially Spain, and that could really throw a monkey wrench into Europe. Europe's a very sensitive situation right now. They, like the United States and many other countries, nations, actually everybody but China has just come out of this economic downturn that really, really reverberated deep through the markets. And so we'll see. It's at a sensitive situation right now. So we'll see how that plays out. Other than the financials exposure, just to kind of close out that conversation for today, other than the financial exposure, we don't see much effect from Turkey. One of the things that did happen today was Donald Trump's administration blocked the sale of some fighter jets to Turkey. They've been put in the warehouse and the pilots have been sent home without completing the training. This is the continued pressure that Donald Trump puts on Turkey. Now, look, we all know the situation with Putin, Turkey, or Erdogan, and Turkey and the United States. We're looking for some positive relationship action from Erdogan, and this is the kind of pressure that the Trump administration is using to leverage that. So, well, like we said, we'll see how it plays out. Right now, besides these temporary blips in the radar, where like yesterday, where it pushed down the market a little bit, and you see the market sprung right back today. These are temporary events, so we'll see how it plays out in the long term. We're still bullish on the market. We think the second half of the year is going to be a great second half. And, it's just all systems go right now. You're going to have these little fluctuations, though, day to day. We're not day traders. So, you know what I mean? We don't live and die by them. But the big story today was Bitcoin. Bitcoin today went below 6,000 overnight for the first time since June. It's recovered since then. Let me see here. I believe we've got a quote. Yeah. See, it's a little under 6,100 right now, but it went under that 6,000. And as we've been saying for the last few weeks, the bubble continues to suck them in. We said it when it was pushing 8,000 a couple weeks ago, right? We said, here we go again. We're inflating, we're sucking in more bag holders, and now we're going to rip their hearts right out. And it did. So are you a buyer at 6,000? Are you brave enough? And, if you're confused by all this, you know where to come, where you start building wealth today. Come and join the club. Our members will tell you that they do well. They're informed, they do well, and they're learning, and their lives are getting better. One thing about our membership will teach you, if you're chewing your fingernails over all this events and stuff, if you're watching every tick and just dying, beads of sweat coming down your forehead, you're doing it wrong. So absolutely click that link and you can see it there, https. It's www.stockpicksprofits.com/go. So go ahead and click that. So, the last few days we've been kind of talking, or yesterday in particular, we've been talking about, one of the biggest things, the most popular things we've done in the past is some value add. I'll get to the comments in just a second. But one of the things that's been super popular in the past is, we've talked about, we've done picks together on a screen. Now, again, we're not registered investment advisors. We are not certified. This is for entertainment purposes only. All we're going to do is talk about a pick that we like, and you can follow along. Now, if you play it or not, that is on you, okay? So no hate mail, unless you make a lot of money. Anyways, so getting into this play, like we said, one of the biggest things that one of the most popular things we've learned over the months and months of doing this live show, um, which the format's changed a couple of times, and we're real happy with it right now, is the free pick, the play along pick. The last time we did this was a few months back. We did gold. I have to ask Samuel in the office, Laura in the office, but I believe we got 33, 34% in just 4 or 5 days on that one. So again, past performance is no indicator of future performance, and we are not registered investment advisors. So okay, so let's talk about this free pick. So we've been talking about the company for a couple weeks now, and it's Netflix. We think that Netflix has gone dry. We think that their subscriber base is maxed out, and we think that it's their own fault. Everything with Netflix is about subscriber growth. We don't feel like they're going to be able to make the inroads in Asia. We don't feel like they're going to really be able to make any inroads internationally. And we feel like in the United States, they basically capped and they're probably losing subscribers. A lot of this is, you remember about a year or two ago, they decided that they were going to pump all this money into this original content. Well, that original content's pretty much just built a graveyard of partial series. If you go on Netflix as a user, you know that. You don't even want to start a binge watch because you don't know. Half the series is on them right now, especially the original content, is just these never finished series. They start them and they put all this money into them, and then you get into them, and then guess what? There's no season 2. We feel that's going to work against Netflix. We also feel like and look, we're very independent over here at stockpickprofits.com. I love investing lovers. We're very independent. We just like to know what the message is. We like to disseminate that, and we like to make our own choices. We see it. And this is not about conservative or liberal. This is not an argument for or against that. This is about a service that streams to the public. And if you look at it, you look at all the comedians and comedians on it. Do you see anybody that's conservative? Do you see anybody in there that's not anti-Trump? Do you see anybody that even remotely leans middle? No. You look at the movies and stuff. We've just got this Alyssa Milano movie that's coming out. That everybody's accusing her of fat shaming. Here we go again. Social media is going to dictate the future of this company. So we do not like Netflix going forward. Netflix has struggled the last couple of days, but we decided we're going to go ahead and put this pick out anyways. Now, this will track together and we'll follow along together. And if you do play it, it's at your own risk. We are not recommending that you buy this. We're not recommending that you play. This is just for entertainment purposes only. So let's go ahead and talk about that. As we said, we do not like Netflix going forward. We'd like to get an earnings report in this trade, these contracts, so that we can see. We think this next earnings report is really going to be the beginning of the end for the Netflix stock. And we don't mean going to zero end. We just mean not being the big FANG growth nuts. Just buy it and wait till it goes up stock. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy some puts. And like we said, we wanted to go a little bit out. We want to give it time to gel. So we're going to buy them all the way out to November. And then we looked at a chart and we think 280, there's some collusion there and there's a potential. We think a drop down to 300 is in the cards, pretty sure. But we think that it's going to go even deeper than that when people start bailing on this stock. So what we like is, for our entertainment purposes only pick, is the Netflix 11/16 expiration puts and the 280 strike, and you're going to pay $450 a contract for that if you buy it. Okay, so let's see, and we'll track this going forward. That's the play for the day. As always, read the disclaimer. We're going to put that in. So, and pretty much for the day, that's the news cycle. It was a real soft news cycle today. It was all about Omarosa and her book and all this stuff and the back and forth on that. And one of the bigger things was the Mueller case against Manafort. The defense never presented a case. They just rested, and he never took the stand. So there's a couple reasons for that strategy. One is, if you're the defense and you really don't have a defense. It's better just to shut up and sit down than to try and present some phony defense. Then it projects to the jury that you're behind the gun, and it just psychologically, it's not a good thing. So there's a strategy behind this, we're sure, and we'll see how it plays out. Right, the final arguments are tomorrow, Wednesday, and they've been instructed to be no longer than an hour and a half long for the defense and the prosecution, and then we'll see what the jury hands down. We'll keep an eye on that for you. But other than that, in the Omarosa stuff, it was really just back and forth. The Twitter scene, we've been talking about Twitter. The Twitter scene right now is what we saw in the news cycle was a couple of their employees quit Twitter, deleted the app because they're not happy about Jack not banning InfoWars. So look, again, like we always say, it's fine. If you're going to have rules that ban a company like that, that's fine. But they have to be across the board. Okay? Can't just be because you don't agree with their philosophy. And look, if you're going to have an open discussion, a real open discussion, then you're going to have the crazies. Okay? They're just part of the discussion. So get over it. All right. So let's go down and look at the questions and comments. So yes, Marco, we were on early today. It's kind of a sluggish day, right? Marco's a member. He knows in the group. I think we posted one update, and it's Twitter, right? Twitter looks like we're right outside that strike, man. That's actually an exciting play. We still got 3 full sessions to go on that. Let's see if we can make some money on it. And as always, to all of you. And yeah, Jeff, we need steel back, and steel is coming back. X had a good day today. AKS, which is another one we're in, actually was a little sluggish today. It was a lagger, but U.S. steel is looking good. And we think that, steel right now is kind of a situation where, it's just kind of out of that forefront. But the first quarter of the year, there was a lot of focus on infrastructure. There was a lot of focus on steel, tariffs, and things like that. But since then, really, that news cycle has just died off. There's so much other focus with the Trump administration right now that the steel doesn't get a whole lot of play right now in the cycle. And so it just kind of loses people's attention. Well, U.S. steel trickled down to about $29 yesterday. If you bought it, you pretty much bought the bounce. And we'll see if that continues on. We think U.S. steel is easily $100, $150 stock at some point. We've owned it since it was about $19, $20. And we're confident going forward. So yeah, we like steel too, Jeff. And we're glad to have you. Like we said yesterday, it's nice to have fresh faces in here. The ruble. Now look, we don't really play the Forex. Forex, of course, for you new traders is the currency exchange, right? So, if you're on a Forex trading station, just like a stocks trading station, guess what? You can trade all these currencies, the dollar against the Australian dollar and anything you can imagine. It's a lot of fun and it's a little difficult. One of ours, in fact, I think Roland's here today. Roland tried the Forex before, so he can kind of tell you. And in the past, we've played the Forex before. We've little successful, but really not anything that would make us give up what we do in the stocks. But yeah, that's what we're hearing is the ruble is looking good right now. There's actually some coinage in the like the India and that area, that region. There's a lot of people looking at coins. Look, on that line of thinking, one of the big plays that might be coming out of this whole mess with the Turkey thing is emerging markets, right? And we'll talk about that going forward this week because we want to wait till it kind of comes to the news cycle a little bit. But right now, everybody's down on emerging market stocks. At some point, look, these economies aren't doing that bad. Now, a lot of the European ones and the ones attached to that, like your Turkeys and stuff, like we just had Greece had a big problem about a year ago. There's a buy in there somewhere. It's going to recover. They're not desolate economies. Part of the big reason with Turkey is it's so debt strapped right now. But there's a lot of companies, a lot of countries. We look at everything like it's a company, but there's a lot of these countries in that region and stuff that there might be an opportunity with their markets also too. And we'll keep you updated on that. One emerging market that we've been invested in for maybe about 5 or 6 months, 6 or 7 months is Vietnam. And that stock is VNM for you guys who want to check it out. We like Vietnam as a burgeoning economy in that Southeast Asia region. There are a lot of good things going on in Vietnam. But like, like anything else, I mean, nothing goes straight up, nothing comes straight down. So you have to manage these trades in between the entry and the exit. And, it might be a big buying opportunity on emerging markets. So that ruble comment's actually important. Now, there are stocks you can buy that are associated with coinage or Forex. And we'll see. Let me put that on the notes, and I'll have the team do a little research. And we'll start adding that to the conversation going forward this week. It's only Tuesday. We still got a lot more conversation to go this week. So, look, all of you, it's been an absolute great time, as usual, doing the show. Thank you for joining us. Jeff, thank you for your comments. All of you here today, thank you for joining us. Hope this was helpful. Remember, that's the play we're going with, is that Netflix short. And we went a little bit out on it. And we were pretty much out of the money on this one because we think, look, when Netflix runs or it comes down, it goes ape shit. So excuse my language, but that's the best way I can describe it. So let's go ahead and see if we get something out of this. Okay. Again, it's for entertainment purposes only. This is not an offer to buy or sell any security or options contract and stuff. And say it right back at you, Jeff. God bless you too. God bless everyone out there watching. Look, we're one of those Americans that we're not afraid to mention God and praying and all that stuff. So you guys have a great day. You believe in God, God bless you. You don't, then you have a great day too. It's all about us all getting along, understanding the differences for everybody. And that's what will eliminate all this anger. So all of you guys have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. We'll have some more information. We'll keep tracking that Netflix play. Nice day for the market today. It looks like a good launch pad to come out for tomorrow's start. We'll see how this turkey stuff continues to resolve, and we'll keep an eye on the rest of the market for you there. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see all of you tomorrow. Aloha.